that might be one of the most difficult things that I think modern intellectuals and stuff can grasp it, because the whole putting things in boxes. Because it's like everything is contextual, and point of view matters and all this stuff. Life is entirely subjective. There's literally no such thing as objectiveness of like objective reality of like all those fundamental things. Like you say, morality cannot exist. It doesn't actually exist. And then people will be like, oh, put that in a box, and we'll give it like some fancy name, and then
like non-existent morality.
Like that would be like, I think, nihilism or something.
Okay.
They give it a name. They give it
some
some fancy nonsensical box name.
Sure.
And then it's like that. And then it's like, yeah, of course immorality can't actually exist. You have to have a point of view for it to exist. It's a concept. By definition, context is what makes concepts function. Like that's the only way.
Mm-hmm.
But then you put that in a box. But then it's like, then that box will also include like other things, and then if that one of those things is slightly off, they make another box, and then everybody gets really confused. And now you have all these intellectuals going around and like the whole information era where everybody's trying to categorize everything and all this. But then it's like, but it does exist too, just by function of like it exists. Anything exists. And then it goes to like that. You can't see light and you can't see pigment, but combined now you can see them both.
Right.
And color. Like it's the thing can't exist, but it also exists. Like everything exists within context. That context is quite literally everything else. Quite literally everything else also existing. So like, and that type of almost scope, and that doesn't explain anything. You can't put all of it in a box at once. But that it's an open box of the only reason anything is because everything else is. And that is such a fundamental, basic point of everything. And nobody bothers to look at the implications of that, let alone that is a fact. Like that is the case. It's like, that can't be the case, or that's too vague, that it's in want of clarity to work with. We can't work with that. Like, how do you help somebody get through their mental problems or figure out an equation and put numbers to things and equations and figure out things if this is the case? But it is. So it's just so hard to wrap the head around. And then you put things in boxes. But it's like, no, everything is relative. No concept like color, morality, or whatever can exist
by itself
because it's within context. Like there's things, and as soon as there's things, there's content, and then everything is relative to each other, and there's content, and that's why anything is the way it is.